Hey guys, this is Brianstormed, and this video is about building teams around particular budgets. We have 5 teams, and this time I have links for you guys in the description with the teams built so you can see them for yourself and see how each player contributes to those teams. This is brought to you by HutDB, because without them, I'm going to have to buy all these players and show you how they all fit together, and no one wants to do that for this team. I guess people do want this team, and they would happily buy it for a cheap price, but not for the price that, billions of dollars. Okay, anyways, moving on. So if you're unaware, these videos come monthly. I try to give you guys the best type of teams that you can build for a particular month for a particular price. The first team, we have the Gold Common Budget. This is almost the same exact team as last month, but what's weird is this team actually costs more than last month. Last month, Gold Common cards were going for like what? 1K maybe? 1.5K max. Now you will see them for 2 to 3K, and if you're a new player just starting out trying to build a team, it might be pretty hard to actually build this Gold Common squad. This Gold Common squad can be built for 50K because you put in about 45K in the first 3 lines, and then the last line is bronze and silver cards that will help you fill out the burner synergy so that all of your players can get an additional boost. Like last month, the centers are the players with the best face-off ratings that are decent skaters, decent shooters that I could find. But we're primarily trying to build a team with call the shot synergy with 9 out of 4 points. That's 2 1/4 synergy points if you prefer mixed fractions, which no one does. And then your 4th line and your goalies. While I have these players in particular, you don't have to go for these players. You can just go for any players that have the burner synergy. And if you have any kind of coach like I do here, I don't do here, you can throw them in there to try to fill out that synergy as best as you can. Alright, so from the Gold Commons, we go to the Gold Rares. These are the cards that you can get for about 5K, which is what the Gold Rares are going for. That's only a 2 to 3K increase from the Gold Common cards, so that's why if you're a new player, I'd recommend skipping the Gold Common cards and heading straight for these Gold Rares. So that first team that we built had the burner synergy and call the shot. The next 3 teams, I couldn't, for the life of me, put any team synergies on. I felt like I was going to be sacrificing a lot of good players, a lot of players with good stats to get the burner synergy, so I just started over and chose the best possible players that I could find, and we still activate call the shot like we did before, but only with 4 players, which happens to be all of your right wings. As always, we have the centers who have great face-off stats. Getzlaff and Linden, they're going to be a little bit on the slow side. They're pretty low on that, but their face-off stat makes up for that. Their face-offs are at 80, which is pretty high for their overall, I would say. So that's why we want them in here, so that you can win face-offs without even getting the right counter. Then we have solid shots all around. On defense, we're doing something a little bit interesting because we're putting a lot of forwards right there. We got Sean Couturier, Barkov, and Probert. 3 forwards all on the right defenseman position. So here's my logic for that. These guys, they're big bodies. They have pretty decent defensive stats. If we just look at someone like Weber, he's got 83 defense. Well, these 3 guys have higher defense stats compared to him, actually compared to any of the defensemen. And then at the same time, it's really hard to find defensemen that are big and decent skaters as well. So that's why these forwards really do help out. Outside of Probert, Probert was recommended to me by a friend, so I'm going to recommend him to you guys without even trying him. But he's tall, so he meets my defenseman criteria. 82 speed, a little bit slow, so he might lose some puck races if you end up going from the offensive zone to the defensive zone. But once he's in your zone, your defensive zone, he's got great stats: 85 defensive awareness, 86 stick checking, and he's incredibly physical, so it'll be really easy to take the puck away from your opponent. As for your goalies, doesn't really matter which goalies you have, just because we don't have any team synergies activated, so they won't affect that. But two, I think, of the more consistent goalies have been Matt Murray for me and Ben Bishop for pretty much everyone else. So I'd recommend picking up one of those two, but again, you can have whoever you wish. This team will probably cost you anywhere between 90 to like 130K, depending on the day, depending on what price you get some of the more expensive guys for. The third team, the under 20K each team, we got a lot of studs on this squad. 85, 84 overalls all around, with some exceptions, but I felt like they were going to be better choices than some of the other defensemen that you can choose from. With this squad, we activate 0 synergies. Why? Because I said so. No, because, again, I didn't want to sacrifice decent players for worse players just to get the +2 boost in shooting. I felt like for a lot of these guys, their shooting is already good enough. We add Bergeron, we add Larionov, and they got some of the highest face-off stats that you can get, with 87 for Bergeron. Larionov even higher at 91. If you are around this range with your budget and you want to know what one player should I add, is definitely Larionov. He is just amazing. He's going to win a lot of faceoffs for you. Skating wise, all right, not that great, but his shot is very good. 86 accuracy, slap shot, and wrist shot. He'll pot in a lot of goals for you despite his size. Your wingers, left wings, right wings, a lot of snipers, a lot of players that can score goals. Austin Matthews should have been a sniper, for some reason a playmaker. Whatever, he'll be on your squad. We added another legend or alumni in Luc Robitaille, who is a little on the slow side as well. 86 acceleration, 86 speed. At least not like your base cards. But his shot, 88 accuracy, 85 power, is pretty great. So that's why we want to have him here. I definitely value shooting more than speed this year, just because the speed kind of all feels the same. But you don't want to be too far behind on speed by having like 80 speed back here outside of Probert. Again, on defense, we have more forwards. So this one is interesting. Last year, I said Blake Wheeler is an amazing defenseman. You want to have him on defense yet again this year. And a lot of people don't really like having Wheeler or Kopitar as some of their forwards. So that's why you're able to have an 85 overall under 20K. He's, I think, one of the only cards that you can get for that price that's an 85 overall. Maybe outside of the alumni as well. But Kopitar is a great defenseman. He's got great skating, 87 acceleration, 87 speed. Defense, 88 defensive awareness. He's got stick checking, 82. Not crazy physical, but he's big, 6'3", and he's got a good shot in case you want to score with your defenseman. There's also not that much defenseman to choose from between 5 to 20K. So that's why we do have to have forwards. We have to bring back Sean Couturier, who is also a great defenseman. Finally, your goalies. Honestly, I think you'll be fine with Murray or Bishop. But if you want to upgrade, you can go right ahead to Rene or Holtby. This team will probably cost you around 200 to maybe 230K. A lot of the players towards the third and fourth lines, you'll pick them up for 5K, whereas your first, second lines probably go for closer to 20K. The fourth team that we have is where the players are worth up to 100K. You'll notice we bring back Kopitar on defense, so he only goes for about 20K, because I find that he's way better than any kind of defenseman that you can get for up to 100K. So this team does actually have some player synergies that you can activate. We have passing playmaker, not incredibly important. It just worked out that it ended up being activated with these guys. And call the shot, I did try to activate that. So we have 4 alumni cards, and we have 2 team of the week cards. These team of the week cards, they're the only kind of like special edition cards that I can tolerate, because if I give you like a primetime card, there's likely going to be like only 1 or 2 up on the auction house. And when I release the video, people are going to buy them, and then they're not going to be available anymore. These Team of the Week cards, there's a lot of copies of them, so they should be adequately priced. But Taves, 85 overall, is surprisingly a great defenseman. I didn't want him here, but then I looked at his stats and saw 90 defensive awareness, 86 stick checking. Physical side, all right, not that great, but again, big, 6'2", an okay shot, but he's also fast. So I liked him. He went for about 30 to 40K from what I saw. The other team of the week was a John Carlson, who I mostly picked up for call the shot. It buffs up his accuracy to the 80s. He's a great skater, great defensively, tall dude. Another 30 to 40K pickup. Your centers all have great face-off stats. Your wingers, primarily great shooters. Liney's the one that surprised me. I didn't look into his stats too much, but he's got the best shot out of all the base cards. 88 slap shot accuracy, 89 wrist shot accuracy, and he's a fast skater. I am surprised this card does not go for like near 100K. Big guy, there's not much more you could possibly want out of this card. Yeah, I'd call the shot in there too, and it's even better. So your wingers definitely going to be scoring a lot of Genos. This team will probably go for around 700 to 750K. Erik Karlsson, one man, taking up a 7th or an 8th of your budget, but that's okay. A lot of these other 84, 85 overall base cards will be going anywhere between 30 to 50K. The 2 legends you have in the center, they're going to be a little bit more expensive. They can be anywhere between 60 to 80K, but I think they're well worth it for their face-off stats. Finally, the last group we have here are the players that are the most expensive. The best possible team you can get in October, and they are just full of legends and alumni cards. And if you want to take a look at them for yourself, you can look at the relevant link in the description. Just one interesting thing to note is this team has a hard time activating synergy, surprisingly. I just got For the Boys barely activated, primarily due to the coach. Though there's a lot of player synergies almost activated. It's just interesting just because of how hard it is to activate team synergies this year. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hope it has helped you guys build a team. If you guys have any questions, need help building your team, or if you have suggestions on how you can make any of these teams better, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time for another NHL 19 video.